I'd like to call to order the October 11th Recreation Committee meeting. All councilmen are present except Councilman Dempsey Lambert. That's agenda item number one. I'll go to agenda item number two. Councilman Joseph will lead us in the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Bow your head. Dear Lord, bless this great parish, state, and bless this committee to make the right decisions for the kids of our community. And dear Lord, bless the armed forces service members who protect us and give us the right and freedom that we have today. Dear Lord, bless us. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to remind the public, if you want to speak, fill out a public comment card and bring it. We don't have a secretary here today, so you need to bring it to me so I can call you up on the agenda item you'd like to speak on. With that, we'll go to agenda item number 4, the director's report by B.J. Romano.
All right, guys. How you guys doing?
All right, the BJ.
Been another busy few months with recreation. Still moving forward. I'll wait for my thing to come up. Right off the bat, Oak Grove's been going through some extensive renovations over the last few months. The Recreation Department began renovations on the Oak Grove Community Center and our ever-growing Update and Renovate project. The playground has been resurfaced. We had a wooden privacy fence that was in disrepair. It's been repaired. We added a sidewalk to make it. We noticed out there that in order to get from the actual playground and the splash pad into the building where the restrooms are at, you had to walk through the grass. So we rearranged the layout of the fence, put it on the sidewalk, so now you can stay on pavement to get all the way there. In addition to that, we'd like to announce that it became a big need with the fact that all the construction that's going on 42, they've kind of taken over some of our parking lot, and then once they are done, it's really going to make our parking lot be very close to a major highway. So we got we got together with everyone in the parish, and we've added a huge additional blacktop parking lot in the back, and it actually has a little walkway that goes right up to the center. So it's going to make things a lot convenient, for a lot of events we have coming up down the road for Oak Grove. The Recreation Department is proud to announce the installation of our third fitness park at the Legacy Youth Park off of Highway 621. Another 5-station self-weighted exercise equipment deal. It's a great compliment to the park that already has almost a mile of a walking trail. And that's if you ever go out there to 621, I mean, that place is used extensively for people just doing healthy things, walking. They have frisbee golf out there and stuff like that. So we added another 5-station fitness park out there, and it's only been there a couple weeks, and it's already starting to take off with a little popularity. Recreation on the move. The Recreation Department is on the move with many projects scheduled or recently completed. Some upcoming deals. We have a Lemonville Park basketball court that's scheduled for a complete makeover, and that work's going to start in late October. This is a project we partnered up with some people on and got through, and this is going to be, once you see the end result of it, this is going to be something really, really nice and really bring us in a little modernization and update, for one of our parks. New playgrounds are going to be added to Prairieville Park and the soccer complex, and that should happen next week. This will make 7 parks that have had playgrounds updated in the last year, replacing our oldest and most outdated equipment. Sandoval Park will be getting a beach volleyball court added this month. We noticed at Oak Grove that the beach volleyball court over there is extremely popular, big time. So we decided to go ahead and expand that and put one in Sandoval, and we'll probably keep growing with that as well. Somebody was not on the list. We've had put in some speed bumps at the soccer complex that were needed to slow things down, and just like I said, continued on to get everything is updated and modern as we possibly can in a lot of time we've had so far. Some recreation news and notes. I've touched on this a couple times, but Oak Grove Park will be closed 10/22 to 10/31 for early voting, as well as 11/6 for regular voting. The park will be closed in its entirety and for these dates, and that's just for all the the stipulations and stuff with voting itself. We have shared restrooms and stuff like that, so it's just best to close the whole thing down. Besides the parking and stuff like that's needed. So the Recreation Department is also happy to announce that we decided to add some bonus splash pad time on both the east and west side. The pads will be open from today, 10/11 through 10/21. And this is just to make up for the amount of time it was shut down on the east side this year. Now, of course, today we did get a little touch of the cooler weather, but it has been a lot warmer since. So we'll have it open and running because we did a little maintenance on both sides. And with that maintenance, everything's good to go, but it's good to go ahead and run it a little bit longer before we winterize it for the last time. So we are opening it up for the public, like I said, 10/11 through 10/21. A little thing we're asking the public for help for, we having a rash of vandalism. Santa Mall Park and Prairieville Park. It's really all of our parks in some way, shape, or form, but recently, Santa Mall Park and Prairieville Park have been hit really hard. We're having issues with graffiti, and that's at Prairieville Park. Like they're going out there, and I mean, the building looks great. It was repainted, but man, the vandalism that's out there is kind of getting out of control. At Santa Mall Park, we're having big issues with kids showing up, or just I don't want to just think about kids, but people showing up and just tearing donuts out there. I have kids that actually go to Santa Mall High School. And they'll give me a heads up when this Snapchat, Instagram, and stuff is for these kids decide they're going to go have fights, and they want to show up and talk. So when I can, I'm there, and we've chased them out. But then I hear that all they do is send the signal out to go to the next park. And the main thing is, parents, if you can push that to your kids and let them know, there's a couple things about it. We've been doing the boys will be boys, or we've all done that when we were younger deal for a while, and we've been getting them and getting reports on them, and then most of them we've gotten community service out of them to come work with us. Kind of a little more slap on the wrist. We just can't do that anymore. Like, it's just getting out of hand. So I'm just, if this stuff continues, if you get caught, we are going to look to prosecute to the fullest extent that we can. Because, like I said, we tried to go far enough, and hopefully the word would spread. Look, stop. But it's not working right now. So we are going to have to move on and start pushing a little more on that. So, and with that. That concludes the records report.
Any questions? Councilman Kluat.
Yeah, BJ, on Santa Mall Park, putting the fence, the gates up. We got anything squared away on closing the gates yet?
Still work in progress on that. We've lined up some things where we can temporarily get it closed sporadically. So like, as when me and you talked before, what I want to do is get that information out to the public, these parks, at what time they do close and what time they need to be out by. So we've ordered a bunch of signs. So we're going to have these signs that are going to go up, so letting people know that we will start locking the gates.
Well,
so
I'm going to just ask you as a resident of Santa Mall,
right,
representing the people of Santa Mall, is what is the plan? Let's hire somebody. Let's do what we got to do. Work with the sheriff's
and we're still in works on that.
And for the vandalism,
yeah.
Hell, I live right on side of it. Okay,
Right.
and we've had the calls to you guys.
Right.
And we've had the calls to the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
People sleeping out there. People in the middle
Right.
of the night. All right, so arrest them.
Right. That's
You know?
where we're at right now. So
I grew up with boys and will be boys, okay?
Right.
But we didn't do vandalism, and we didn't do donuts in the middle of that baseball field, okay?
right,
Maybe I led a naive life, but I don't believe that.
right.
I think it's a total disrespect for people, and that's all it is.
And that's the big thing, because I mean, this doesn't always
Arrest them
happen at night. This happens in broad daylight.
Broad daylight.
They don't
that's
care.
Right.
They really don't care.
And I'm gonna tell you what: if the neighbors, you ask the community to get involved, my community does get involved.
Right.
Okay, and they go over there, and it's almost a confrontation.
Right.
All right. We get threatened.
Right.
All right. Who in the hell are you to tell me I can't be here?
Right.
Or who in the hell are you? Okay. All right. So I'm sick of it, and our community's sick of it.
Right.
Do what we got to do to close the gates. Call the sheriff. The sheriff will respond.
Right.
They've
And we're
done
on
a
top of
great
all
job
that.
responding.
We're on top of all that. Plus, there's a lot more aspects that we looked into that are there too that we won't talk about, because that'll give away secrets that we don't want everyone to know about. That's gonna help us with that. Help us keep a better eye.
I mean, the
on
baseball
everything.
finishes
So,
at what, 10:30 at night or something
Right,
like that?
right.
Hey, have somebody at 10:30 at night. Hey, y'all can stay up all night, but you can't stay up here.
That's right.
See y'all at the gate.
Right.
It's gonna fixing to be locked.
That's it.
You know, we experienced that in Gonzales with the skate park. Okay.
Right.
And those Gonzales Police Department and the people at the Council on Aging can tell you about the horrendous
Right.
things when people tried to correct those folks, okay?
Yep.
Right? You wonder if you wasn't gonna get killed.
Right. And I've experienced myself. I have ran people out the park myself, and it's never been nice. And even when you threaten to call the cops,
They don't care about that.
they're in a certain mindset. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So, but I get them out the park when I'm there. So, but like I said, I've walked in, we've caught individuals in our yard that's locked. They were able to sneak through there, and then, they question us on why we're questioning them. So, and I'm always, again, I had been on the, hey, look, understand it. you need to leave, you know. And then they escalated, you know, so like, we're basically at a no tolerance policy anymore, you know, so you know, there'll be no questions asked. I don't need to ask you any questions. You're not supposed to be here. We're gonna let the authorities handle it.
We want the facility open for
Exactly.
anything that the facility can bring that people can do,
Right,
that the facility has.
right.
But-
Like I said, that's where we just want to get the word out to, you know, the public itself, everyone knows, you know, I mean, you know, some of these are young adults, and then some of it are, you know, a little older folks, but just, you know, we know that everyone knows something, and sometimes you just kind of want to stay out of it, but we're just letting you know, hey, if at the least thing you do is just mention it, hey, I saw this, and you're going to jail now if you do that again. You know, that's what I want them to know. You're going to jail. You know, we're not.
Go to jail.
Yeah, I don't need you to come. I don't need you to cut my grass for a week. I pay employees to cut my grass. You don't have to pick up my trash. You know, you're going to jail, and you can let somebody else take care of that. So.
I mean, you know, it's just, it's bad. What's gonna end up is you're gonna have a good resident that's been there all their lives, gonna go out there to try to stop somebody from doing donuts in the middle of the night, playing loud music, ranting and raving, carrying on,
Right.
and they're gonna get hurt. That resident's gonna get hurt, and we don't want that. Let's do what we gotta do. Anything I can do to help you get that to where we shut the gates at night,
Right.
I'm good with it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Councilman Lawler?
BJ, I want to tell you, wonderful job at Oak Grove Spray Park. I've been by there. It looks fantastic. I know I can be a pain in the butt sometimes, but man, y'all knocked it out. I know it wasn't just you out there, your whole crew, everybody that did it. The people of Prairieville are so proud that y'all did that great work. It looks fantastic.
Yes, sir.
The added parking lot, I can tell you, is a huge boom with the early voting coming out there. And I'm going to use this as an opportunity to encourage people, make use of this early voting. Go there, then take a look at the park, because y'all have done a fabulous job out there. The Prairieville Park, that's the one that's getting the vandalism right where the men's softball leagues are?
Right.
Okay, well, I'll start driving by there at night and seeing what I can do also, but it's a shame that people are doing that.
Right. We tried everything we can in our power. And there, we have some residents out there. We've added where the concession stand itself is. It's kind of odd. I wasn't really getting too much vandalism. I mean, you have some always, but then outside, I go, so you know what? It's very dark here at night. So we went and added lights that are on a timer, sensor to come on when no ball's going on, because that's way off the road. So it's a good hiding spot, you know. And like as soon as I put the lights up is when all the vandalism started. And it's like they wanted to see what they were doing, I guess. So, but hopefully that was a one or two. Really, it's been 3-time occurrence, you know. And I got some other plans and actions as far as trying to deter that a little bit more, you know, as far as stuff that, you know, kind of like some Santa Mall Park stuff too. So, but at the same time, again, you know, we don't want to send anybody to jail. We want our parks for everybody to enjoy them, you know. And you know, we just at a certain point, you got to just do what you got to do. So
I'm sorry that people are ruining your hard work, because that is very disappointing. You know, once again, that's tax dollars that people are just wasting.
right,
Thank you very much. Keep up the good work.
appreciate it. Thank you.
With that, we'll go to agenda item number 5, West Side Basketball registration.
All right, West Side Basketball registration is now open. You may register at the recreation office between Monday and Thursday between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. The on-site registration dates will be October 30th, 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. November 5th and 6th, 5:30 to 7:30. November 12th and 13th, 5:30 to 7:30. All on-site registration dates will be at the Lemon Center. So we encourage people, you know, again, with any league we have, you know, if you can get out there and sign your kids up early, because it helps everything, because it helps them line up coaches, it helps them, you know, get the rosters ready, uniforms order sooner, you know, and just everything can be a little bit more organized instead of having to throw people together at the last second. So it would really help us out, and like I said, the opportunity to sign up is there. You have, you know, Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and then you have your on-site, later in the afternoon. So it's there for everyone to sign up, and we encourage any and all to sign up. Every year we want to have our programs expand and, in population and participation go up even more.
Councilman Joseph?
BJ, on the gyms, how are we doing with the gym? I mean, I know we only have the Lemon Center. How the school is just going to be on weekends?
Right. So, I mean, we're still kind of in the same boat for now, but we do have a couple of meetings coming next week with school board officials and some other officials with some gyms over there, that hopefully we can work a little something out to maybe possibly get expanded a little bit more, though.
Okay, and my other question is on the schools with registration and passing out flyers. I know I talked to Aja about a week and a half ago.
Right.
We were still having that problem with, you know, on the west side, we wasn't in the school system where they can pass out or online
Right.
to get it registered, what flyers, information.
Gotcha.
How is that, is right now? Did we correct that, or we
It
still?
hasn't- It's not correct yet, but that's one of the things that's on the item list for our meetings, I know, which are all next week, you know, with the school board officials, so we can figure out what it is we need to do to make sure that that's taken care of, so.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you.
With that, we'll go to agenda item number 6, East Side basketball registration.
All right. East Side AYBA basketball. It's about to kick off too. Wait for my screen to come up. East Side basketball registration will open online October 17th through October 31st. You can visit ayba.info for all the league info. You can contact admins at ayba.info if you have any questions about registration information or forms. AYBA Basketball League has been going on, you know, for over a decade and a half, if not longer, in Ascension Parish. It's had this little, you know, toe stub during the flood when the league had to shut down for a year. But within those couple of years, it's opened back up. It's almost back to its maximum participation that it used to have, and I'm sure it's going to grow back to that this year all the way. And with that, they said, you know, they've kind of got their things laid out, how it's done every year, and you know, they're the same way though. Just, you know, they encourage you to sign up as soon as possible for the same deal, so they can have their coaches lined up. You don't get stuck with 12, 13, 14 kids on a team when it didn't need to be, when they easily could have signed up another coach at a different time, stuff like that. So it benefits all. It benefits the league. It benefits the kids, and it benefits the parents who are trying to watch your kids. And as per the norm, you know, we'll be using the Ascension Gym, you know, our 2 courts there, how we always use, and then we have our little a co-op deal with the school board, and we'll be using various gyms throughout the parish for that too.
Councilman Joseph.
BJ, just you don't mind, the west side is ran by Ascension Parish Recreation Department.
Correct.
And the east side is ran by a organization.
Correct.
That's different,
Correct.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just want to make sure everyone understands that it's nothing different. It's just that on the west side, we just figured that we can run it.
Right. This is just
Better.
the size, and then it's easier for us to, you know, for now, you know, because we're hoping one day it expands to the point where we need to bring in, you know, extra people and stuff like that. But like I said, so far, you know, we have good numbers, and one day we'll get to even better, you know.
Good
so.
enough. Okay. Thank you.
With that, we'll go to agenda item number 7, substantial completion, Oak Grove Splash Park.
As Mr. Lawler mentioned, we've had we had a big project with the splash pad. We had some issues with it, some leakage over the last couple of years. It was causing some kind of mold. It just wasn't having it, you know, it wasn't able to operate the way that it should. It was causing it to look like things. So we put out for a repair. The project was budgeted at $68,000. I had to say the company worked with us very well. We even delayed it, pushed it back a little bit for them, which helped benefited both of us actually, probably us more than them. And the project came in at $68,000. No change orders were done, so it came in right at budget. The project is now 100% complete. The picture you see is it was extensive. They ripped the entire thing out. Been back the last couple of weeks, and it's up and running now. And it's you know, we kind of got a 2-for-1, because if you remember, the splash pad was there and it was working. You could play on it, but the surface itself had kind of got worn a little bit. It was kind of faded. And, you know, obviously with them having to rip it all out, they had to resurface it too. And now it's been resurfaced, and the thing it's beautiful now. It's beautiful and looks great and makes the park look great. And obviously it's functional and everything's working the way it's supposed to work now.
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Joseph.
are you asking for us to give you a motion for?
Yes,
to
we are
accept?
asking for substantial completion on this.
Okay. All right, I make the motion that substantial completion be awarded.
And I'll second that.
Motion by Councilman Joseph, seconded by Councilman Lawler. Any objections? With no objections, the motion passes. that, we'll go to agenda item number 8, the Oak Grove Community Center early election.
Right. And we touched on this a little bit earlier, but we want to just make sure we bring out again is we have early election again. The information is going to be at Oak Grove Community Center. The dates again, October 22nd to the 31st. November 6th is the regular election date. Just another disclaimer about, keep in mind that Oak Grove will be completely closed during those times for the election and election dates. And again, it explains why, because of the bathrooms and just, you don't want to compromise the polling stations and stuff that's going on. We do encourage, with the way things are laid out, again, we have the brand-new parking lot in the back. It's spacious. It'll be, everything will be marked. It'll be 100% laid out. And with the construction on 42, again, they have surplus equipment in that parking lot, so they will, for the most part, want to direct you to that back parking lot. There's a walkway right into some double doors, so it's just as convenient to get in that way. So we just want to get out to the public when you do go for your early voting and the regular registration that, keep in mind, it's just right behind the building. It's easy in, easy out. There's one way in, one way out. And just want to make the public and everybody aware of that.
Councilman Lawler.
I just want to reiterate once again that this was a major team effort. Bridget Hanna, our clerk of court, did a great job in moving this forward. Additionally, Councilwoman Cazzo and Councilman Dawson pushed really hard, and then our recreation department got everything ready, got it prepared. I think we're going to have a great, and it's really exciting to have early voting in Prairieville now. I think we're going to have a great turnout for that. I'm encouraging everybody to get out there. Thank you very much, BJ.
Yeah, not a problem. Thank you.
No further questions. We'll go to agenda item number 9, proposed 10-year bond in the amount of $3 million for a new gym addition. We're proposing to do a bond for the recreation, and actually it's not going to be just for a gym addition. It'll be for a gym addition and some additional other recreational equipment. One would be at the soccer fields. They would expand the bathroom, because right now it's only, I think, 2 stalls at the bathroom, and with the number of people that use those soccer fields at any one time, that's not adequate for there. And we're also considering, as far as doing another splash park between, in Councilman Castle's district near the library. The library has graciously decided they would donate the land and allow a splash park to be put in that area. Anyone have any questions?
Yeah.
Comments? Councilman Kluwat.
I guess I'm a little bit behind the curve on this one. Can you explain to me where's the breakdown on the $3 million? And so you got 2 courts there. You're looking at another court.
Well, the initial,
I don't have any paper.
yeah, the initial cost for the gym, that gym cost will change. It's going to be a smaller gym, and will be a smaller gym with less seats, and we're going to do that along with sports courts. So therefore, it won't be a $3 million gym. Initially, the initial gym we looked at, and that was initially thought about, was doing one large gym with a seating capacity of 520 people.
And what is that gym going to cost?
We get with Myers Engineering again as far as the total cost of reconfiguring that gym, because after thinking about it and knowing that we do have some problem using the school gym sometimes, we thought it would be better to have a smaller main gym and get those additional sports courts with additional goals to maybe wean the AYBA program off of the school system.
All right. So this is just up for discussion tonight, or is this up for vote?
Well, it's up for a vote tonight. We can have it with Myers. We will get with Myers as far as making the changes to that gym.
Well, I'd just like to know a little bit more about it, because like I said, you basically adding one more gym.
Well, actually, it'd be one more gym with the sport courts, which will, I think we can put up to 4 in the 4-H building at Lamar Dixon. So during the AYBA season, they give you a total of 7 courts there, which would hopefully alleviate.
Yeah, I know a little bit about basically it's buying equipment to make the 4-H building work. So
Correct.
3 courts, I thought.
It's 3.
And 4 courts?
It's 3 or 4, depending on how you configure them. And what size, if you're going to do the full-size court on it.
I thought the cost of that was a couple $100,000.
Correct.
That equipment. So that leaves, 2.8. How much is going to the soccer field for the bathroom expansions?
I go to Mr. Lawler on that one.
Yeah, it's about a $225,000 construction job. That includes running sewer lines and water all to it, electricity, and about $25,000 for design. And like Councilman Turner said, for some reason when they originally built that, they have, for the women, 2 stalls, and for the men, a urinal and a stall, and it's not nearly enough. And I think, from my understanding of it, when they calculated the number of bathrooms that would be needed, they said, well, you got 7 fields and 22 players on a field. That's about right. Well, they didn't take into account that you have people driving them there, you have fans. Younger kids, you divide fields into 4, so you have 2 total of 8 teams on a single field. And when you have a tournament out there, or even just on a Saturday afternoon, every single field is full, and they're just porta potties everywhere. And it's not up to standard.
Okay, so, I mean, even if I roll that up and call it 500,000, that leaves you so you're saying the extra gym's gonna be 2.5 million?
No, actually, we didn't tell you what exactly the additional gym would be.
What is
So we said we had-
what? I don't know, that's what I'm
Yeah, we
asking.
said we would have to modify it. The original one that was built, Mr. Myers could tell us, come up. It was, initially, I want to say it was 2.5 or 2.6 on the larger gym facility. Yeah.
Yeah. The original gym that was designed back, not designed, conceptualized back 3 years ago was $1.5 million, but it only had 50 to 100 seats. What the administration asked me to redo is just look at a cost for what it would do to build a bigger gym, which we laid it out, and it fits out there, but you can't fit more than a 525 gym, which is what the cost you're looking at now. But the original expansion 3 years ago, when the renovations were done to the existing gym, was $1.5 million to do. It was a 9,400 square foot facility versus now it's a 13.6 to make it fit the
But
numbers.
then you had 2 conceptions, you had the renovations,
You had renovations and you had the
Okay.
addition.
and then you had the idea of an expansion,
Yes, sir.
okay? So you don't have the expansion.
It'll be the expansion now. They already did the
You're looking
renovations
at
of
the
the
expansion.
Yeah, renovations were done back 3 years ago.
Okay, and that cost was?
$330,000. It was 1.8 for both of them. Then it was 330 something was the renovations that were actually done, bid, and completed.
Okay, so
And
you,
that left $1.5 million, which was what was left 3 years ago from a 9,400 square foot facility.
so you're looking at this expansion you're talking about today, 3 years ago was 1.5 million,
Correct.
1.5.
Yes, sir.
And so now I still see an extended budget after we take away the other stuff we've already talked about for this gym at 2.5 million.
Yes, sir.
So
What's the
it
question?
went up $1 million?
Because you're going from, the original facility,
So
the
you're
one,
not
original.
staying with this, I want to make clear for everybody.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm just, but the original concept of the facility was not to house a full gym. It was only 50 people, kind of the 2 that are there right now has limited seating.
It was 2 different concepts.
Yeah, it's 2 different things.
That's
So
what I'm
now they
saying.
said, it's a bigger one. It has the ability to put 525 people within there, house that. It's hooked up, we can reuse the concession stand that's there, do a little bit of modifications to it, but hook onto that facade on that edge, and then relocate the road around that and not affect the treatment plant and the chiller. That's as big as you can get it without getting into some major renovations out there. So
Well,
that's what we priced it at.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not against any of the plans.
Mhm.
I'm just looking at the debt service, so we clear on the debt service?
Yes.
I mean, 3 years ago, we was talking about spending the whole debt on that gym.
Right.
I
we
remember
spoke-
those conversations quite well. So now, we're looking at a 10-year bond, so y'all got finances to back up?
Yes, we did talk to,
That-
we did talk to,
What is the debt service on it?
we did talk to administration. We have, ran the numbers and worked it out as far as, the debt service on the bond in and of itself.
Because we haven't increased any of our dedicated funds to recreation from any other outside source. So what is the debt service on this thing? on this
About
team?
250,000 to 300 debt service for the 3 years. If you go at $3 million, it'll be about 230. And if you go, as you go 3.5, it's 200 and, think about 250. It goes up about 50,000 for every, 500,000. And,
So right now, you're asking, you said 3.5. If we do the 3.5, we got a 3 right here. So is there some plan for a 3.5?
no, I'm just, they just ran up the numbers based on,
All right,
we didn't, know- I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, didn't know what everybody else might want in it. And so, it just was projected out from a $3 million to,
so you basically, within this bond, you have all these projects are gonna cover 100% of this bond. There's no money left over for nothing anywhere else, right?
well,
What y'all telling me?
We're not
that's,
sure about
that's,
Well, what,
that's what we're saying.
well, then I think it's a little premature, then we don't have a scope for work yet, and, you know, to go forward, you wanna leave out a committee and go to the council for,
But it's for a $3 million bond. Just because you have a $3 million bond doesn't mean you have to use the entire bond. It's no different than a credit card. Just because you have a limit on your credit card don't mean you have to burn the whole limit up.
I understand that, but it's not, we're in public service, and I've rarely seen a bond, not used. I'm sure somebody will find something they want somewhere for it. So I just, without seeing something that's kind of broken down about what our goals are on it and finances to back it up. So if we would stay down low at the 230 debt service, BJ, where that leaves you on your being able to service the rest of the parks and do everything in the parish?
It's, yeah, I mean, again, like you said, it's an iffy stage on it, so to run all the numbers to it, but it's, you know, again, the things that they're throwing out are, you know, that's on my agenda too, you know, from day one, you know, I asked about the soccer bathrooms. I just didn't, again, that was built before I got here, and I just didn't really understand why it was built like that, you know. One thing you'll notice if anywhere else you go is, you know, if you're in Baton Rouge, I know they're bigger and it's more money. They have a gym on every corner, you know. Well, we don't have that, and we get calls, I mean, constantly, and then it's kind of a fight. Like, we get stuck in the middle, like, well, how come he gets to rent it? Well, he called 3 minutes before you did, you know. So, like, and in my talkings with everybody, including Mr. Myers, everything that I want to do as far as recreation from now on when it gets built is to be multifunctional. Just like we talked about the Santa Monica Park Rec Center, same thing. You know, so this basketball gym, you know, I've been in tons, you know, so I want anything new to be way more than just basketball in the same arena. You know, like I want it to be, you know, there can be an indoor track, you know, just stuff like that, you know, to add to it, to make it multifunctional and be beneficial for not just basketball, for anything, you know. So, and so then, of course, we've all talked about the need for more splash pads, you know. So as far as recreation stands, as far as where we're going, you know, we're in support.
Do you have
know,
money
to
in
get it.
here for splash pads at other parks? That's what I'm just asking. I asked, is just $3 million?
Well, we said it's
Be
going
It's my understanding
consumed
that's
for what we
right.
talked about at Lamar Dixon.
no, it's going to be a brand new splash pad in Cosmic Castles
in
district.
Cas- Yeah. Okay, so we got what you just talked about and what you'd mentioned about a splash pad and, on Highway 73.
Correct.
And that's it. For the
That's
$3
the-
million.
unless you have something else. You have anything?
Well, I don't have enough information right here
Well,
to
Once again, we're asking to bond it out. I mean, I looked at the numbers, and BJ, if I'm not mistaken, you didn't upgrade all the parks right now. So the money that you're using for the last 2 years you've been here, you didn't upgrade it just about, this year here, you should have all of them about upgraded with all the playground equipment. So
Playground,
you won't
sure.
be using the money that you've been using to buy new equipment for all the other parks, because they pretty much updated.
Right. I mean, obviously, there's always things to do, but you know, when, again, basically been here for about a year now, so that my first big tidal wave, yeah, we ran through, you know, and probably spent more than was normally spent to get
Right.
those things up to spec. I mean, obviously, you know, our goal is we have a ton of stuff to do, obviously, you know, but then these all fall in line with that as well, you know, so.
So, and I mean, the I'm gonna say $250,000 for this here right here will come out your budget, wouldn't it, will not hurt it over the next 10 years.
Right. I mean, as far as the numbers that we discussed and looked at, with the whole deal, I mean, it's something we should be able to handle, and it's what shouldn't slow us down from continuing to expand it with other stuff beyond these projects we're talking about right here, so.
And once again, we're just trying to get this, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Chairman, we're trying to get this here so we can at least finish the budget for this fiscal year.
Correct.
And as I know, I don't know what finance normally say, but it's just a budget item and we preparing ourselves for it. That don't mean
Well-
you're gonna spend the money.
Well, I don't see anything with the numbers attached to it, other than what we're verbalizing tonight. That's all. And talking about things, so.
What we could do is make
Is-
sure we
is-
get,
is what's the rush to leave out this committee? If, could we have a spreadsheet or something,
well, it's trying to make the budget for the next fiscal year. What we can do is, because we're going to have to pass out a committee, and get you those spreadsheets within the next couple of days as far as what those breakdowns are.
So they exist or not?
Well, I know
Said.
the gym one exists for sure. Well, I can speak more as far as the bathrooms for the soccer fields.
Yeah, I can get some of that money. I've talked to people that have done some of the design work on the bathrooms and maintenance facility there. 'Cause that's the thing, it's not just bathrooms, it's a maintenance facility to store equipment on it, yard equipment. So for the parish, doesn't have to keep driving equipment back and forth there. As far as the spray park, that's a $300,000 job. The reason that costs that amount is Councilwoman Cazzo has done a lot of work with our library over there and worked with them to secure land that we don't have to pay for. As far as the sports courts and the gym, once again, this is not just basketball. I know Travis loves basketball, but this is
And soccer.
volleyball,
Indoor soccer.
indoor soccer, futsal, inline hockey. Volleyball tournaments are actually huge. And Sandoval has one of the best volleyball teams in the state. This would give us the capacity to, I think you can do 2 volleyball. We can do a really massive volleyball tournament over there. So this is going to really add to that area. And one of the things I'm really excited about is what it will do to the 4-H building, give us a lot more use out of that building. And that's a cost of $150,000 there. And what that includes is each of the courts at about $35,000 a piece of the sports courts and the gym, and the goals and the nets that go with that.
Equipment.
So I'll make a motion to move this out of committee, provided we can get some more detailed information prior to our next meeting.
Got a motion by Councilman Lawler,
Second.
second by Councilman Joseph. Any objections?
I got a question.
Councilman Clue has a question.
So you wanting to move this to the council meeting next Thursday?
Yes, if,
A week
provided
from
we
now?
can get some of that information.
And I think we should be able to get that information.
And you're gonna be looking for in the council meeting
Yes.
for council approval to go out for bonding for $3 million,
To put that in the budget, yes.
to put it in the budget.
Budget don't be approved in November the 15th.
Right. That's why I thought that we might have had just a little bit more time to talk about this, so.
Well, if I'm not mistaken here, let me just put it this way. Mr. Travis, if I'm not mistaken, I know you have spoken to the parish president numerous of times on this issue.
Correct.
And basically, the parish president just said if you would get this here basis through your committee, they will work the details out through the budget, correct?
That's correct.
So, I mean, that's one of the other reasons why we're doing this, Randy. Because the parish president, I mean, there was some issues came up, and he said that if you get it through the committee to work out the numbers, we'll work out the numbers as we go to, before the budget is approved.
Look, I'm 100%, I just want to make it clear, I'm 100% in favor of these projects, okay? And I think that we need to utilize and multifunction all of it. And like BJ said, that's what we're going to try to do as we rebuild Sanamo Park. I'm totally remiss about the soccer fields that, that we built the soccer fields and we got nothing but porta cans out there, Something like building a school and putting 40 T buildings on the side of it.
Let me tell you, that's fun when it's 97 degrees outside.
Well, so that was poor design on somebody's part. So,
Can I make a recommendation, Mr. Chairman?
I guess.
Can I make a recommendation, which
Councilman
is,
Dawson.
actually, you could just say, make a recommendation to the administration, up to $3 million bonding for, this, and this, and you guys have got a pretty good list for that, and then work with the administration, because actually, if they're gonna put that, we don't have to put it on the agenda for next Thursday. It needs to be ready for the November 15th when the budget is adopted, and if the administration is willing, they put that in as a revision, then that's really all you need. You could get all that gives you till 15 November to define the list.
Like I said, once again, I'm for all these projects. I just, don't have enough good information, and if that works, I'm not against it.
Mr. Chairman, it's up to you to pass the motion or not.
As amended?
As amended? I'll go along with Mr. Bill Dawson amendment to the motion.
So with the amendment to the motion, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Councilman Joseph. Do we have any objection? With no objection, the motion passes.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second, meeting adjourned.